Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Metal Meltdown. Today we are talking about the latest studio album from Dune entitled Voidkind. This is the third full-length studio album from this progressive sludge post-metal crew hailing from the United Kingdom, from Edinburgh, Scotland. To be more exact, I first came to know them back in 2022 with the release of their sophomore studio album, Dvne. I don't think we did like a full-blown album review. I think that was in like an Albums I Missed video, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever. I remember like really enjoying it. It had great production, great vibes, great atmosphere. It was big and bold and cool. A lot of great melodic technical leads and some great vocal dynamics as well. Maybe slightly derivative of stuff from Mastodon and Baroness and The Ocean. But I mean, hey, those are all awesome bands. If I made music and it was compared to anything from them, I'd be happy. Whatever. It's all good. Behind the scenes, Dune put a lot of pressure on themselves to outdo Dvne, to continue to grow and develop their sound, and to go into more unpredictable but also more direct and immediate territory. With singer, guitarist, and founding member Victor Vicart writing, "We felt pressure for Dvne because it was our first album for a big label and more people would be following us up. But the difference here and the difficult thing was that we wanted to do something we would be equally happy with, but with a different angle and flavor. So when we started playing Dvne songs live, we started thinking, what's missing? What don't we have? We talked about immediacy. We wanted more songs that were straighter with less of the long build-ups. We still have the big 9-minute songs, but now we also have these more concise songs that still feel like us." And Dune putting all of this pressure on themselves was for the best, because Voidkind is a much more direct and immediate record with less fat, less filler. It gets straight to the point much quicker, and even when it does feel like we're kind of like meditating and simmering on certain sections that maybe should have been over, everything still has purpose and we're still reaching some kind of like natural catharsis or climax, you know? Everything is earned. Everything is here to do something, even if it's not immediately obvious. The resulting album is also one that feels more organic and natural. I do feel like there was a little bit more collaboration behind the scenes, a little bit more improv. Everything flows quite nicely, and everything is made all the more immersive because of it, and all the more cinematic. And there's more technical and melodic leads and sludgy grooves contrasting with these really great melodies and these really great like post-metal, post-rock soundscapes and dreamy atmospheres. A lot of great textures, a lot of great textures and dynamics and pyrotechnics and really emotive and empathetic guitar work and songcraft. Comparisons to Mastodon, Baroness, and The Ocean are absolutely still valid, in my opinion, but overall, Dune has done quite a lot to really craft their own unique sound based on these influences and more, and it really shows consistently on Voidkind. You've got opening number Summa Blasphemia, which utilizes heavy contrast to great effect. One minute you have these soaring, sparkling vocal leads and hooks. The next you have these really in-your-face, abrasive, like screaming, shouting vocals. You have these like twisting, turning, winding, dazzling, Mastodon-esque guitar leads contrasted with some sludgier, crunchy grooves and some like metallic pounding. It's really engaging, it's really interesting, and the fact that Dune is able to balance all of this and kind of crisscross back and forth without losing any focus whatsoever, I think is genuinely pretty impressive. And I love how it's just constantly building tension until it eventually erupts and then kind of transitions into like some kind of like progressive sludge metal with some really dark, intricate melodic guitar leads and some really tough fucking vocals. Great shit. Then there's Eleonora, which honestly feels like something that Tool might whip together if they went like post-rock or post-metal. Like it has these really like airy, dreamy, spacious sections with like heavy emphasis on clean vocals and more minimalistic, like soft guitar work. And it also has like these really groovy, intricate bass lines and tribal percussion. Then there's Pleroma, which almost honestly feels like a Coheed and Cambria style prog rock, prog metal opus, but with this like really grand cosmic cloak and feel. Like you have these twirling, dazzling guitar pyrotechnics, some really great emotive cleans and harmonies, some like angelic vocals as well that cut through some of the most chaotic and frenzied moments. Like, this whole thing just feels, like, really large and important, as if you're watching somebody ascend to the heavens. The closing number, Cobalt Sun Necropolis, is probably the least direct and immediate cut on the record, but I actually think that works to this specific song's advantage. It takes a little bit more time to just kind of, like, relax and create tension and atmosphere gradually. It really enjoys, frankly, simmering in its own spices and sauces and just kind of stewing and braising away. It just makes everything, like, feel more important. I'm not quite on the edge of my seat, but I'm not quite not on the edge of my seat, you know? Like, I'm hooked, I'm interested, I'm engaged. I like some of the dark, moody vocal dynamics and melodies. I like some of the agonizing screaming vocals and pounding guitars. I like a lot of the progressive, groovy riffage. And I also really like how this comes to what feels like an intentionally abrupt end. Like, it feels like when the song's about to reach its natural conclusion, a bomb just drops in the fucking studio. I will say, as strong as these cuts were, there were a few, I don't want to say duds per se, but songs that weren't as strong and as memorable in my opinion. Reaching for Telos and Abode for the Perfect Soul, for example, not as strong as the stuff I've mentioned. Also, while there are less interludes on this album than there were on Edom Unks, there are a couple and they're pretty unnecessary. Dare I argue, downright useless. All things considered, though, I enjoyed this record. I think it's really strong. I think it's really good. I would give this a very enthusiastic 3.5 out of 5, leaning slightly towards a 4. There's a lot of really great stuff on here. Dune actively wrote music wanting to be more immediate, wanting to be more direct with their music, and I think they absolutely succeeded. I think that was a great idea. I think there's a lot of room and potential to continue building and evolving their sound. I think if you're in the mood for some weird, progressive, sludgy post-metal in the vein of, again, Mastodon, Baroness, The Ocean, boom, you have found it. Enjoy. If you aren't a fan of any of those bands, or even some of the other bands we mentioned in this video, like Tool, Coheed, and Cambria, I don't think there's anything here necessarily that would change your mind. But overall, again, a really good record. I look forward to seeing where Dune go from here. Once again, a very enthusiastic 3.5 out of 5. It's good. Check it out. And that is it for the Metal Meltdown. I am not an expert, nor do I claim to be. So what do you think? Do you like this record? Do you not like this record? And what do you want to hear from me next? Thank you for watching. Make sure you press this button right here so you get updates on the Metal Meltdown fucking immediately. Look, there's even more videos here. And as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day.